Galina sits at a dimly lit corner table, speaking with a former colleague of Jess Turner. The bar is lively, but their conversation stays muted and serious.
Jess was angry with Riggs. Feels he took away everything she worked for. But murder? She's no killer, just vocal.
Did she ever mention any plans? Anything out of the ordinary?
Just the usual venting, mostly. But she kept mentioning a partner in all this. A hint at bigger stakes?
Skaggs waits in the shadow of a bustling restaurant. Martin Clark exits, pausing to engage with a reporter. Skaggs watches, scanning Clark's interactions closely. As the reporter leaves, Skaggs approaches Clark with a subtle air of authority.
Evening, Mr. Clark. Heard you might have insights into our investigation.
Clark's demeanor hardens, defensive.
I've said everything I needed to say. Riggs and I had our differences, but that's politics.
I'm sure you understand we have to explore all angles. One's recent interactions, particularly?
Clark shrugs, feigning ignorance but betraying a flicker of unease.
Nothing substantial from me. You'll find that out soon, or waste more precious time.
As Clark departs, Skaggs, unsatisfied, considers his next steps. Detective Skaggs sits at his modest kitchen table, the soft yellow glow of a single lamp illuminating the room. Papers and case files are scattered before him, alongside a half-eaten sandwich. He picks up a faded photograph of a younger man in a police academy uniform. Young Skaggs stands in line with other graduates, his heart swelling with pride. His father, Captain Skaggs, pins his badge, saying things the camera can't hear. They exchange a firm handshake, the admiration palpable. Skaggs places the photo back on the table, lost in thought. His gaze shifts to a notice of foreclosure tacked to a nearby bulletin board, reminders of personal struggles at home.
I promised I'd keep the name strong, no matter what it takes.
He returns to his files, flipping through them with renewed determination. Each page a reminder of why he relentlessly seeks justice, driven by family legacy and personal obligation. Galina stands on a rooftop overlooking the city, the wind gently tossing her hair. She holds a small, well-worn diary, flipping through its pages filled with notes and clippings. Her eyes catch on an old news article clipping about the unsolved murder of an investigative journalist, her mother. A younger Galina, around 13, sits at the dining table, eyes glued to her mother, a strong-willed journalist, typing away furiously on a laptop. The room is filled with stacks of newspapers and notes, the signs of a life lived seeking truth.
Remember, Galina, truth is the most powerful tool we have. Never let fear stop you from finding it.
Galina snaps the diary shut, the resolve apparent in her stance. Her mother's untimely death, labeled a botched robbery, left a mark driving her to uncover hidden truths others might walk past.
For you, Mom, one step closer to your truth.
She tucks the diary away, pulling out her phone to check leads connected to Riggs, still fueled by a blend of sorrow and determination. Skaggs returns to his desk, attacked by a relentless barrage of thoughts and memories. He gazes at a framed photo of a young boy, his nephew, struggling after Skaggs' sister lost custody due to spiraling addictions fueled by financial instability.
I'll fix all this, starting with justice for Riggs. It'll all mean something, has to.
Knuckles white, he grips the edge of the desk, channeling his personal struggles into a fierce commitment to solving the case and building a safer world for the family he struggles to protect. Galina places a call, the phone tucked against her shoulder as she types a follow-up to her contacts for more information about the mysterious shell companies linked to Riggs.
I need those files as soon as you can. Riggs' case could open the doors to understanding, more than just for me.
As she hangs up, the city below mirrors a night she will not allow to pass without progress. Each light a life intersecting with hers in the pursuit of justice, propelled by past wounds that push her forward. As we move on, we find ourselves at Riggs's autopsy. The sterile environment is filled with the hum of equipment. Dr. Miles, the forensic pathologist, enters holding a folder, her expression serious.
Thanks for waiting, Skaggs. The autopsy results are here, and it's not what we expected.
Skaggs leans forward, interest piqued.
Let me guess. Riggs didn't just have a tragic fall.
Dr. Miles opens the folder, revealing detailed toxicology reports.
Exactly. Councilman Riggs was poisoned. We found traces of saxitoxin in his system, a rare and potent toxin.
Saxitoxin? That's not something you find in your average medicine cabinet.
Dr. Miles nods, understanding the gravity.
It's a paralytic agent. Death would have been swift, only minutes before he fell.
Skaggs absorbs this information, the ramifications sinking in.
So all this time it was never an accident. It was murder.
Galina walks through the park, on a call with one of her informants. An expression of shock crosses her face as she receives the news.
Poisoned? But how'd they get close enough to administer something like saxitoxin?
She listens intently, her mind racing to piece together these new developments.
Keep digging. Anyone who might have had access to him in those final hours.
She hangs up, the park's serenity contrasting with the chaos of her thoughts. Skaggs paces in his office, briefing his team on the discovery. Evidence boards are filled with photos and notes connecting Riggs to various individuals.
All right, we're dealing with poison, a rare toxin. Look into anyone who had close contact with Riggs lately. Political events, private meetings, anything.
A detective raises a hand, questioning.
Could this connect to the funding scandal, sir? Maybe whoever got rattled took drastic measures.
Definitely a possibility. Start cross-referencing his schedule with known associates, especially in his last day alive.
As his team disperses, Skaggs returns to his desk, determined to uncover how the toxin was introduced. Galina sits at the outdoor area of a dimly lit cafe, sketching a timeline of Riggs' last day in her notebook, cross-referencing with her notes on known associates and events. Her phone dings with a message from an unidentified number. Check deliveries. Someone might have slipped it in unnoticed. She looks up, a realization forming.
Catering. Whoever handled his food or drink.
She quickly gathers her things, a newfound urgency propelling her forward. Galina rushes into Skaggs' office without knocking, meeting his surprised gaze.
Skaggs, I know how they could have gotten to him. Catering. The poison could have been slipped into his food or drink at the event.
Skaggs, catching on to her insight, agrees.
We've got a lead on his schedule. There's catering records for an event that same night. Let's cross-check everything.
They work side by side, determination uniting them as they begin this new phase of the investigation, their dynamic shifting to partnership.